Roll.
Roll. All right. A camera, we hot? B camera, hot?
Hot.
Alternative audio, hot? This is Albaner Project interview session, take number 1, action.
Morning, bro. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thought you forgot about me. I ain't hear from you since, what's the word, Atlanta. But yeah, I'm good, bro. Chilling. No complaints at all. I definitely was like, damn, I ain't even hear from bro since then. But I know you get busy, man. All is well. All is well. What's up with you, man?
Because this is so new for me, bro. This is the first time I've ever talked in this way. I'm trying to live what I preach. I tell people to lean into discomfort. Now it's my turn. It's not easy, but you see me doing it live. I'm doing it live, man. It's very difficult.
Welcome to Dallas, bro. You're in a good place. Welcome to the South, my brother. Man, love you a ton. Praying over you, praying over wifey, and praying that, as the Lord has led you here, that you guys will experience the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living, and that every bit of it will be blessed and prosperous and full of favor, that you'll make solid relationships, and that there'll be incredible open doors, and that you'll see the Lord bless your marriage in this time. I know it won't be easy and rosy because you're in a new place, and so there's things that you're going to have to figure out and things that you're going to have to learn and find out. But you have us on your side. You have us in your corner. We're family. We love you. And welcome, man. Welcome, bro. Ah!
He's a son, a brother, a friend, a servant, and a newfound husband.
You probably have seen him on social media a lot, giving really deep, profound words of God.
Influencing people to follow Jesus and live the life that God has called them to live.
He is a forerunner in being able to deliver and communicate and articulate powerful truths with wisdom, with grace, and just with power.
I want to introduce to y'all my homie.
Viral sensation, Albaner.
Albaner Eugene Jr.
They were so excited when the platform that God has given me started to blow up, so to speak. But that was when everything, for me personally, started to go downhill in the context of it changed my life. And so trying to balance who God was really calling me to be in the environments that I was in, I knew it. I knew, okay, this is gonna get very difficult.
It cost us a lot. It cost me a lot. I'm not gonna get too deep into that.
No, but we're gonna talk about. We got to touch on it. Sometimes we look at the road to love and marriage as something that's straight and linear. It was faced with some deep challenges that uprooted your entire existence. And I'm gonna allow you to talk as much and as little as you want to talk about this. What happened?
When you get new information, but you're still living your old life, it's gonna clash. And I started to know things were gonna become difficult for me because my two lives were clashing. I had a very, 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 very complex relationship with my pastors. They weren't just pastors, but they also served as parental figures. And they were also my employer. They were my boss, they were like parents, and they were my pastors, my leaders. And I went to a very, very small church. I served in the church full-time, serving my pastor for 10 years. I gave literally most of my life to the church. I was one of those kids that was there sun up to sundown, every day of the week, Sunday to Sunday. I wanted to serve my leaders and bring about what it was that God was putting on their hearts, whatever it was. And in the complex relationship I had with my pastors, there were certain things that happened that were extremely hurtful. And for the sake of the ministry, I stayed quiet. I began to endure a lot of stuff that was very confusing, very disorientating. I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't talk to my family about it. We were very big on like keeping things quiet and, you know, making sure like it doesn't cause a stir. I learned that I was one of those people, bro, like I did put a lot of people's needs before my own. I was so much more focused on making sure that they were happy and that they were good and they were taken care of, that sometimes, you know, I allowed a lot of hurtful things to happen. Like I started to see that, you know, it's embarrassing to say, but I started to see that I did lack courage. I did lack boundaries. I lacked really self-respect. I let a lot of things happen. I let a lot of things slide. Seeing the people that I love, I wanted them to smile and I wanted them to be happy. I wanted them to stay encouraged. I didn't want to bring any of what I was going through with my leaders, so to speak, to them. And it wasn't healthy, it wasn't wise. And I suffered silently, and I started to see there's no longevity in this. And I figured, well, God's gonna change things. God's gonna change things. He's gonna change the hearts of certain people. God's gonna change things around. My life became like years and years and years of seeing things but not saying something, being affected by people's decisions and never speaking up for myself. I had to do so much in some of my hardest moments that when they would come back around and say, hey, like, okay, let's come back after this painful thing happened, after I got let go randomly, or after a new narrative pops up that I'm trying to impact the church negatively, or maybe take attention away from my pastor, or like I tried to play small so that way I didn't trigger nobody. I didn't step on nobody's toes. I tried to shrink, and I never let any light be shined on me because I wanted to make sure that people understood. See, I'm not a threat. I'm not trying to bring attention to me. I'm not trying to start a church within a church. I'm not trying to be in any rooms. I'm not trying to take anyone's spot. I'm not trying to take anyone's position. But these were all narratives about me. And it's like, no matter how much I started to shrink or tried to shrink, the Lord just kept adding increase to my life that there's nothing I could do. It just got to a point where it was like, I'm either visibly just gonna sit down and people are gonna question, what am I doing? Or I'm just gonna embrace who God has called me to be. I wanted them to be excited about what God was doing. I wanted them to jump in and get involved with what God is doing. The clash happened when I realized that there is no badge of honor dealing with things or dynamics that are unhealthy and not saying something or doing something about it, regardless if it disconnects me from certain people or unites me to them. And I'm learning now to just embrace my emotions, to say what it is, bro. Like, it hurt. These are people that serve as parental figures to me. You know, we've been through so much. And because what I do is ministry, I kind of denied the idea that I needed support. I don't need support. I'm here to serve people. Why am I looking for their support? I'm here to serve people. Why do I need their approval? I'm here to serve people. Why do I need their affirmation? But the truth is, I'm human. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. And I think I buried so much of what I was feeling to be a good soldier. And do I admire who God has called me to be? For sure. Do I admire how I was able to stand by my pastor and serve him and take care of him and be there for him? For sure. I don't regret it. But I can't sit here and lie and make it seem like I didn't want him to be proud. Like I didn't want him to like, no, like, yo, you raised me up. You see what I'm saying? Like you, like, it's been my pastor since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I think like the reality of what I feel, bro, if I have to be transparent, is like, I just wanted to make him so proud. And even if it meant like just, because I really believe he knew. I believe everybody knew, like, Al's not happy. He's just doing this because he really wants to carry his cross for this church. And, you know, it's just tough because I lost everything, bro. There's so many people that don't even know, like, they just think I just left them behind and I'm just gone the whole time. Like, I gave everything I had, and I was waiting for the day that they just sat down and was like, Al, like, we know that you're actually for us. Like, yeah, we've been wounded. Yeah, we've been through so much as a church, and maybe people have come and gone, but like, you stayed. And we know what we put you through. We're not gonna deny it no more. We're not gonna act like you just crazy. Nah. I just wanted this support. That John hurt so much. Like, as the Lord was expanding my territory, I felt like I was losing my family. And I knew deep down, like, Al, like, all this shrinking you doing, all this trying to like play small so that you don't step on toes, like, you're creating an environment that's unhealthy. This last time, just on a random Tuesday, bro, like, I walked into an office. They asked certain people to leave a room. It's Albaner C, and they just let me know they had a dream that God told them that they gotta let me go again. I wasn't shocked, but this time something felt different. It was like the grace or whatever I was walking in that helped me endure it was gone. I was shattered, I was wounded. I lived on the church property, like an apartment nearby. They asked me to move out of the apartment, just, start focusing on my life, start focusing on what God's doing in my life, and just go build outside of the church and just pursue what God is calling me to do. And in my heart, I used to always say, every time that this happens, I'm gonna just keep telling them, hey, like, I hear you, but I really believe God called me here. There's nothing I'm chasing out there. There's nothing I'm looking for God to build. This is where God has called me. But my pastors, they were very adamant. There are certain things that I won't share from my pastor's wife that was said to me. But she kind of gave me her side of why they're letting me go. And it was hurtful. And again, a lot of it's so disorientating. And so what happened was I started to build my life. I started to, I moved away. Well, I moved out of my apartment, moved to a new apartment, still nearby the church, because in the back of my mind, I kind of felt like they were going to call me back, thinking about, okay, Al, well, what is your life outside of this church? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just start building. Eventually, we reconnected again, me and my pastors, and they were just asking me to come back. And I'm just like, oh, man, okay. I had some people just beg me to come back, and I was like, no, I'm gonna come back, because my heart is still tied to the ministry, and I did believe that, it's not time yet. Let me just keep pushing. They spoke to me privately. I got a chance to finally sit with them and really talk. All of us just talked, because there was too many hurtful things happening back to back to back, and I was falling apart. I was falling apart, and I just asked, like, hey, like, before I come back again, like, can we please just have a meeting, like, to finally just address some of the stuff that we be going through. Like, I don't know if I could take it anymore. Like, I don't know if I can keep kind of submitting myself to some of these dynamics that is killing me. Like, it literally was. And they admitted certain things that they felt about me. And I know that it came from pain. I know it came from trauma. And I know it came from all the years of ministry that they've been through. And a part of me, ignorantly, I thought that if I put up with a lot of the stuff I put up with, bro, I would earn their trust. At that time, I was dating, and I always told my pastors, when I officially, like, know that I know, my mom knows this too, I said, y'all will know. And I just was like, hey, like, just so you guys know, like, since y'all let me go, I've been dating, and I think this one is serious. Like, I think this is it. They asked me where she was from. I brought up she was from Texas. That's what really started kind of a lot of the tension. They really was looking to see if anybody in the church that I liked, why couldn't it be somebody closer? And they were like, well, she needs to be here. She needs to start getting acquainted. She needs to, fit into our context. And I understood, and, it was long distance, so we just had to coordinate that. And, they eventually met her in person. Time went past, and we never really spoke about it. And they would ask me, hey, are you still talking to that girl? And I was like, yeah. I actually think that I'm gonna propose very soon. Like, I think this is it. I let her meet a lot of my leaders in my life. I let her meet a lot of the important people in my life that I knew needed to really get acquainted with her, just so they could get a feel for who it is that I'm saying that I actually believe is the one. And you know, my pastor's wife let me know that she really just wasn't a fan. You know, she wasn't really, she used words that I'm not gonna repeat, just for the sake of my wife too, because there's things my wife would always teach me, she says, I know. Like, I know that they don't necessarily like me. I could just tell. And you never came with an update with how they felt from the first date. She says, so I'm not stupid, Al. To make a long story short, the breaking point for me, you know, my pastor's wife, she said, like, do you want to know what my pastor thinks, basically? And I was like, sure. And she was like, it's an absolute no from him. He said he doesn't want nothing to do with it. And, you know, he doesn't, basically his seal of approval is not on it. And he believes that you hear from God, so just Albaner can do what he wants, basically. He is a father to me. He is a leader that, you know, this is somebody that I look up to. This is somebody that I hold him to a high regard. So when he said that, it just put me in this place of like, it's my go-to. All right, now I gotta show you. I gotta show you that, yo, trust me, like this is the best decision. I really believe that this is the woman for me. I felt like if I just went ahead and pursued her wholeheartedly and went all in, that, you know, it would work. And so the final phrase that rings in my ear that led to me kind of just really having to go all the way, they said, if you marry her, we're gonna go ahead and just release you to Texas. We're gonna go ahead and just let you go. And I said, I just don't think that's necessary. I think that this could be beautiful. I think that this could work. And so I went into my mode where I was like, you know what? Like, I don't necessarily have the approval of my pastors, but I knew I had to make a decision for me for once. I knew I had to just stop necessarily relying on their seal of approval and just move forward. Me and my wife were just like, hey, like we both know we want to go into 2025 married. We know we're not gonna be able to pull off some crazy big massive wedding. And so we were like, yo, let's just do something extremely private. Your immediate family, my immediate family. We won't invite nobody, just it's really small. We got married December 1st. Greatest decision of my life, marrying my wife. A friend of mine who is preaching that Sunday, he announced, y'all don't know this, it's private, but Albaner just got married. And he's a really big pastor, so the world is going crazy. His audiences, they're all cheering, they're all excited. But it was an explosion for us, me and my wife, because this was something extremely private that we weren't gonna be public about just yet. And so I got a phone call on the plane. Literally, I just got off the stage of What's the Word? I'm on the plane. And literally, some things were said that I won't say, but my pastors made it clear, like, you know, we're going our separate ways. Like, you know, they told me that, you know, they can't have me at the church no more. They can't have me around them. Like, they can't have me involved in the ministry. At this point now, I'm really going through a lot mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I'm disorientated like crazy. You know, a lot of people are hurt by me. A lot of people were affected by my decisions, and I had to own it because I understood the point of why we wanted to be private is what's happening. One of the things I told my pastor in that last meeting was like, around this time last year, one of the things you always told me is I never said anything when all that stuff was going on. So this time, I'm just saying, although yes, I agree, this is a breach. I'm sure it's come to a big surprise to everybody. Just Albaner just married this girl, but I do believe that who I am and the character that I have and the years that I've served you, I think it at least warrants at least a conversation. But nobody wanted to talk. I think I wanted someone to say, instead of, hey, let's get rid of him, I think I wanted people to just say, something must be wrong. Al's not okay. Let's not push him away. Let's check on him. And I think that's all I wanted. I just wanted somebody to just stop and say, hey, are you good? And it's my fault too, because I suffered in silence. That's a rule that I create for all my people. We don't suffer in silence, but for the sake of what I believed was covering, for the sake of what I believed was honor and protecting these people that I dearly love, even when they did things that were questionable or weren't right. I think I wanted the same thing. And I think that trauma and pain blinds people and keeps them in offense. And again, that's not me saying because I don't want this to come off like I'm saying they shouldn't be hurt or affected by my decisions. I think I just wanted them to realize I didn't do this out of spite. I didn't do this to be disrespectful or rude. I did this because I tried to do something that was best for me for once. Yo. Yeah, this year is something. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful. God has been so good. You know, I asked him, I said, Lord, if you still have need of me, come and find me, and you let me know that you still have need of me. And he did. He did. Yeah, he did. Look, God has healed me. I'm still learning, and the journey, it really does continue, but I will say this. I'm coming back. I'm back.
Rice Kid 2025, make some noise!
When I start to really see who I was outside of the ministry, so to speak, when I started to see who I was outside of the church, and I was able to find me again, I just felt free. My nervous system being regulated, my body feeling calm. Like, I remember just always being under so much stress that I made it normal. At the end of the day, like, I had to learn I have to speak up because I never said anything. Unconsciously, I was teaching people that the way that they were treating me was okay. The way that I've even seen people be treated just over the years, that it was okay. And I kind of knew, like, man, I just wish someone would say something, but the Lord was dealing with me to say something. And I believe that to some degree, the Lord gave me a position in their lives to be able to say something. And my fear of abandonment, my fear of rejection, my fear of losing them, I believe stopped me from speaking up sometimes. A lot of what God's will is, especially when it deals with people or things that he's ushering into the earth, it's gonna take people who are gonna be courageous, who are gonna be bold. And what me and my wife are experiencing now, like, we were experiencing heaven on earth. And it's funny because we had to go through so much in the beginning. Like, she was such a warrior, she was so strong, never influencing me to do anything I didn't wanna do, never trying to push me to do something, but just praying for me, standing by my side, enduring all the stuff that we had to go through in the beginning. And the Lord showed us, it forged us together.
The hardest thing watching was watching him hurt. I saw him cry. I saw him be vulnerable. I saw him try and save, relationships, knowing that there wasn't much that I could do. But also knowing that it was some things were necessary, some things had to happen, but having to let the process and the journey play out. It's not fun to watch because you want your partner, your spouse to be happy. You want them to, be experiencing the joyful parts of life, not having to mourn so much loss. And I really saw him reaching out for strength from his community, from counsel, from the Lord. I saw that he never gave up. I saw, the moment where it was like he finally came to okay, this is the new norm. This is his new life, and kind of finding peace with the new journey, the new season that he was in, and really taking ownership of that. And he just started walking in it. And then I saw him shift from mourning to singing and dancing and being joyful again and being adventurous. And then it was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. And it was beautiful. Then I get to experience those moments with him as he was transitioning and finding his flow again and coming back to himself. That was beautiful to watch, to be a part of, to witness, to share those moments with him. You know, it's kind of funny. I don't feel like there's been a shift in the way that I view him. I feel like if anything, it was just confirmation to what I already knew was there. Confirmation to who I already knew who he was, that he really is a man who walks with the Lord. He really does love people. He fights for people. No, we don't see the bigger picture, but the Lord really does have a plan. The Lord will literally work everything out. Anything that was meant for evil, he will work it out for our good. He will make it good. So really just trust in God. And that's what I saw Albaner do.
I've learned that the Lord was actually escorting me out of a situation that I used to cry about. And that if I would just yield, even if that means being led into obscurity, adversity, or the wilderness, so to speak, a place that isn't familiar for me, it doesn't mean that God is not with me. And so I've truly learned that the Lord is my shepherd. I've truly learned that he will lead me beside still waters, but even as I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, like as long as he's with me, I'm gonna be okay. I know my decisions affected so many people, and my prayer has just been, Lord, like, remind them who I was to them. Like in the midst of all of this, maybe people turning people against me, people just running with narratives, and everybody's mourning loss, so everybody's experiencing a wave of emotions because it was such a disruption. I just hope that they remember, like, I love them deeply, and I still do. I pray, and I continue to pray, like, they continue to grow and do all the things that I would encourage them to do. Like, they knew I was like their biggest fan. Like I tried to like encourage them in ways that I knew the world wouldn't. To some of them, they just feel like I just abandoned them, when it's like, nah, like I had to go get free. It was my wife, bro. Like my wife, she carried me. She never tried to rush me to stop crying, to stop talking about it, to stop mourning. She never tried to bash nobody or make me leave or do anything I didn't want to do. She carried me, bro. Like she was so strong. She was so understanding, and like she makes me better. Like I tease her, she's so healthy, all the things, and like she makes me more like Christ. Like she makes me, like she has helped me become, and she has helped me accountable. Like she's my mirror to become better husband, a better man, a better leader, and you know, and just all the prayers of all the people that I know are praying for me, bro. Like I know that my voice has reached the world, but a lot of the world I never may get to meet in person. But I think my urgency to, one, represent Christ, but then also to be a voice of hope and healing to people, it's like I can't quit. It's like I just, the moment I begin to think about what I've been through and what the Lord has brought me through and how dark I know it gets, if I could just be a voice for somebody, bro, where they won't quit and they keep going, like that motivates me. It's like, yo, if one person says, Al's video made me not want to quit, bet, I'm good. And so that I think that's my answer to that. That's what keeps me, bro. Like knowing that the Lord has used me to impact so many people, one, at my church, but then two, giving me a beautiful wife that is like a rock to me. And then how he's enlarged my territory and he's anointed my voice to reach the world. He didn't start that just for me to give up. He didn't start that for me to just crash out. But what I do want to make sure is that they know I'm human too. That even I get tempted to quit. Even I get tempted to give up. But I think even that's encouraging.